And now let's meet the starting lineup for TPLS Christian School. Number 23, Abby East. Number 24, Sierra Johnson. Number 25, Jennifer Davis. Number 32, Madison Lowry. And number 35, Alexi Hempy. And now let's meet the Hamilton Heights Lady Hawks starting lineup. Number 3, Jasmine Massengale. Number 4 is Elizabeth Balagoon. Number 12, Treasure Hunt. Number 23, Camilla Cardoso. And number 24 is Mary Martinez. Fans, remember all of the games here at the Fort Bluff facility are televised worldwide on the NACA television network.
So off the opening tap, Hamilton Heights plays it up here in this girls Division I matchup. Pass underneath goes in and out for Martinez. Now up front, 3-ball for Jasmine Massengale is good. And a 3-0 lead for Hamilton Heights. The number 2 ranked team in the country, according to ESPN. So second chance to see them this weekend. 3-ball out front is no good from Jennifer Davis, and back up with it come the Lady Hawks. Jasmine Massengale, Elizabeth Balagoon, Treasure Hunt, Camilla Cardoso, and Esmery Martinez start things here for Hamilton Heights. For TPLS, it's Abigail Eads, Sierra Johnson, Jennifer Davis, Madison Lowry, and Alexi Hempy. So jumper in the lane won't go for Treasure Hunt, and back the other way comes TPLS. So trying to swing it back near side along the baseline. Runner there is no good by Sierra Johnson. Massengale back the other way for Hamilton Heights. Pulls up and gives it up to Martinez. That's knocked out of bounds and goes off of Hamilton Heights last. Inside it goes to Hempy. Now dump back out front. Davis for 3. That's off the mark. TPLS gets it back. 12-footer is good on the far side by Madison Lowry. And there's a 3-2 lead now for Hamilton Heights. Balagoon on the wing. Inside Cardoso off the glass and scores. 5-2 the lead for the Hawks here. Davis off on the wing. 3-ball there. Won't go for Lowry. Rebound underneath to Cardoso, and out of there comes Hamilton Heights. Massengale into the front court. Back over to Cardoso. Off the glass, no. Rebound underneath to Martinez, who lays it in. Now a 7-2 lead for the Hawks. In the paint, 10-footer won't go for Hempy, and we have a whistle and a foul on Alexi. It's her first and team first. So Massengale up into the front court here. Off in the wing to Balagoon. Cardoso, good pass underneath. Martinez had it partially blocked. Blocked again. Cardoso off the glass and scores. 9-2 Hamilton Heights. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Up front, Davis. That pass knocked down by Balagoon. Pass goes in the middle, and they swing it out. That three ball is blocked as Lowry tried to get a shot off. Down the lane, runner off the glass is no good by Hempy, and back the other way comes Massengill for Hamiltonites. Jasmine down the lane, fires no, rebound tipped out. The Lions come away with it. Davis back the other way into the front court. Goes in the post. Now outside, we got a whistle and a traveling violation on Alexi Hempy. So Massengill up to the front court. Cardoso off to Balagoon. Swing it back around. Three ball in the wing from Treasure Hunt is off the mark. We got a whistle and a foul in the post. So Camila Cardoso picks up her first foul and team first. As Sky Robinson in for TPLS along with Grace Pack. Davis into the front court, goes off in the wing. Swing it left side, three ball, that's off the mark from Hempy, and now Hamiltonites to push it up. Massengill, baseline to Hunt. Treasure down the baseline, that won't go. Rebound picked up and put back and in by Martinez. 11-2 is the lead now for Hamiltonites. Three ball on the wing, that's no good. And the rebound down low to Massengill. Jasmine off to Treasure Hunt for three, that's off the mark. Rebound underneath to Martinez. Nope, she'll head to the free throw line. So Sky Robinson will pick up her first foul. Team second on TPLS. Out of Richmond, Virginia. Free throw here, rattles around and off for Esmery Martinez. By the way, TPLS, the 2017 HSPN champions, as the free throw good by Esmery, 1 on a 2. Also have a bunch of really good players in their own right. Jennifer Davis is going to Towson. Rachel Stovall is headed to Quinnipiac. Madison Lowry's going to UMass. So this team loaded with some college basketball talent as well. Camila Cardoso with her second foul and team second. Grace Pack to the free throw line. First free throw here is good. So Cardoso will head to the bench as Ruth Balagoon checks in. By the way, TPLS defeated the #1 team in Canada this year, which is Lincoln Prep. And they were the runners-up in 2014 in Division II here at NACA. Massengill out front. Swings it back left side to Treasure Hunt. Now Massengill will back it out. Baseline jumper by Balagoon won't go. And a rebound underneath to Jennifer Davis. Davis looks baseline, now gets it back out front. Swings it over to Hempy. Three ball on the wing, that won't go for Madison Lowry.
These two teams are no strangers. They've they faced each other in the finals last year. TPLS knows very well what they're up against.
So Elizabeth Balagoon with the layup there, 14-3. And a whistle and a travel, and back over it goes to Hamilton Heights. So Madison Gill out front goes on the wing to Ruth Balagoon. Now back underneath Treasure Hunt. 3 ball on the wing. That's good. Triple for Marta Rodriguez. And it's 17-3. TPLS has really not hit a shot in this first quarter. 3 ball out front won't go from Davis. Matter of fact, they've had 1 field goal in 7 minutes of play. Those jumper from Massengill won't go. Kind of swing it back around. Jasmine will reset. Underneath, that shot won't go, and a whistle and a foul. So Grace Pack picks up her first foul. Team third on TPLS. The thing of it is, the Lions can shoot the ball from outside. Now, they haven't so much so far in this game.
They have tried to.
But they have been launching shots like crazy, and I figure at some point you're going to hit a few.
Yeah, I'm thinking that has been by design. Want to kind of see if they can get a little hot, maybe just to make this interesting. Unfortunately, they have not made those shots. Unfortunately for them, I should say.
Massengill swings it around. Treasure Hunt for 3. That's way off the mark. And now TPLS to bring it up.
And for us, while I love Hamilton Heights, I love all these girls, I do like to see good games. To see a good game.
Well, and I think, TPLS, you said won yesterday. I think they'd be favored in their other game as well. This is probably going to be what the championship's going to look like. And again, if TPLS hits some shots, some threes, they can hang around. We've seen that before, but they've got to hit something. 3 ball out front by Jasmine Massengill is good. And it's a 20-3 lead. Davis out front. Trying to swing it right side. 3 ball at the buzzer won't go. And the first quarter will end with TPLS making 1 field goal. 20-3 is the lead for Hamilton Heights. We'll take a break, come back to the second quarter in a moment. You're watching the NACA tournament. All right, it's back to it here. as Jennifer Davis will bring it up here for TPLS. Start the second quarter. 20-3 is the lead for Hamilton Heights. Swinging across. Massengill with the steal. Ahead to Balagoon, and she'll lay it in. 22-3. Well, if it comes to Hempy, got cut off there. In the corner, Davis for three, and there's one. So finally, TPLS gets a bucket as Jennifer Davis hits her first shot of the game. It's 22-6 now. Underneath, Martinez, nope, but she'll head to the free throw line. That foul is on Madison Lowry. Her first, team fourth. That free throw off the mark. And we got a timeout to TPLS. 22-6, the lead for Hamilton Heights. Back here in just a moment. You're watching the NACA game. (23-6), three ball in the corner. That's good. And Elizabeth Balagoon with another triple. 26-6. Here's the lead now for Hamilton Heights. Lowry swings it off. Davis for three in the corner. That's short. Now Balagoon out on the run. Down the lane, faked the pass, then had it knocked back to her out of bounds, and it will be Lions basketball.
Ooh.
So Lions try to work near side. We got a whistle and a jump ball. It will be Hawks basketball.
Ooh, I just heard Coach Keisha Hunt come from the sideline. I'm not sure what player she was talking to, but she said, "Why are you not sprinting down the floor? You are about to come out."
Yeah.
So the 20-point lead early in the second is not enough for Coach Hunt to pump the brakes by any means.
Well, and the thing is, and this is how you should approach the game, is if you're in, you're going 100% all the time. And if something needs to change, the coach will let you know. Until then, you keep pushing 100%. And that's what Coach Hunt wants to see out of these girls. I mean, that's a nice move there by Jasmine Massengill, and it's now a 30-6 lead. But you can never get in a point where you start slacking off a little bit, because when you play tougher opponents, that's going to come back to bite you a little bit. So and that's what Coach Hunt knows. When you're in the game, you got to go full speed. And if a time comes where she wants to back it down, fine. But until then, you go all out. So Massengill into the front court, down to 5:10 to go in the half. This has been all one-sided to this point. Massengill backs it out. Balagoon for three. That won't go. Rebound tipped out, and Davis comes away with it. On the baseline. That knocked away and finally stolen. Massengill comes away with it. And the front court, good pass underneath, and Cardoso with the bucket. 32-6 with 4:30 to go in the half. Free throw line jumper there is good by Alexa Hempy. Alexi with the bucket, but this has been tilted to the Hamiltonite side since opening tip. Balagoon on the wing. Out top to Martinez. Now Massengill, a deep three. That won't go. And the rebound taken away by the Lions. Davis along the baseline, trying to throw up a runner. That wouldn't go. Massengill working up top off to Balagoon. She'll fire a three, and that's good. Elizabeth Balagoon with her second three. It's 35-8. Baseline three ball. That's off the mark from Lowry. It's tipped out of bounds. It will stay with TPLS. Has Ruth Balagoon and Marta Rodriguez in for Hamiltonites.
We want to assure you this TPLS team can play.
Oh, for sure. No doubt. There's a jumper on the wing is good. 15-footer by Madison Lowry. And you wouldn't have 3 college signees if they couldn't.
Sure, they beat the number one team in Canada for what that's worth.
Well, and listen, they can shoot the basketball. The problem is when you're reliant upon threes, when you're not hitting them, it's a problem. Big problem. Martinez with the layup, and today they are not hitting them. Free throw line jumper, that's no good. Just not shooting the ball well at all, and part of that is the defense of Hamiltonites, and the length of Hamiltonites is hard to play over the top of. Massengill with the bucket. And there's a steal off the inbounds pass and another bucket for Elizabeth Balagoon. 41-10. There's a nice little 10-footer by Alexi Hempy, making it 41-12. And Massengill out front, off on the wing to Balagoon. Martinez, the post, try to swing it back out. Massengill near side, Balagoon for three. Good again. My goodness. Hand in her face twice, and she's hit him twice. 44-12. Baseline pull up from 10 feet is good by Sierra Johnson. 44-14. Massengill into the front court. Balagoon off to Martinez. Pulls up in the lane. Fires and missed that. Rebounded Davis. Davis into the front court. That should have been a double dribble. 3 ball on the baseline. That wouldn't go. Under a minute to go now in the half. Massengill down the lane. Good pass underneath. Martinez will lay it up and in. Or excuse me, Rodriguez will lay it up and in. 46-14. Down to 45 seconds to go in the game. And that shot no good, but a whistle and a foul on Ruth Balagoon. That'll be her first, team third. Alexi Hempy to the free throw line. 1 out of 2 for Hempy, 46-15. The lead now for Hamilton Heights.
Hang around during halftime. You got a lot of highlights, mostly Hamilton Heights.
Yeah, with this score, that would be the kind of rather obvious conclusion. It's been all one-sided. Hamilton Heights up by 31 here. Under 10 seconds to go in the half. Underneath, good little up and under reverse by as Mary Martinez. And that'll do it for the half. 48-15 is the lead for Hamilton Heights here over TPLS. We'll get to your first half scoring totals as we run through some highlights here in the meantime. Oh, excuse me. TPLS, Sierra Johnson with 2 points, 1 3-point field goal for Jennifer Davis, 4 points for Madison Lowry, 1 point for Grace Peck. She was 1 of 2 for the free throw line, and 5 points for Alexi Hempy, as she is 1 of 2 from the free throw line. For Hamilton Heights, 5 points for Marta Rodriguez, including 1 3-point field goal. Treasure Hunt with 1 point, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 8 points for Camila Cardoso. 9 for Esmeri Martinez, including 1 of 3 from the free throw line. 10 for Jasmine Massengill, including 2 3-point field goals. Elizabeth Balagoon, 15 points, including 3 3-point field goals, and 0 for 2 from the free throw line. At the half, 48-15 is the lead for Hamilton Heights. Kind of a few highlights running through here, as it's been all Hawks, and they've managed to get a lot of inside points, although Ruth Balagoon has knocked down a couple of threes. There's a nice steal Elizabeth Balagoon has knocked down a couple of threes. There's a nice steal from Elizabeth there in the bucket. And speaking of threes from Elizabeth Balagoon, there was one right there. And at the half, 48-15, the lead for Hamilton Heights. Take a break, come back to the second half of this one in just a few minutes. You're watching the NACA National Tournament.
Educating students.
Educating students.
To become servants of Christ. Servants of Christ.
Para llegar a ser servidores de Cristo.
To make a difference in today's world.
Faire une différence dans le monde d'aujourd'hui.
Einen Unterschied in der heutigen Welt zu machen.
Fazer uma diferença no mundo de hoje.
تغييب تدنيا دايروزا.
Мы можем изменить сегодняшний мир.
Right, welcome back to the second half action.
At the moment, it's 48-15, the lead for Hamilton Heights. Fast break bucket there by Elizabeth Balagoon. Making it now 50-15. A whistle and a reach-in foul out front on Elizabeth Balagoon. That's her first, team first. Davis on the baseline, tried to go inside. That's knocked away. Tenderford dumps it down low. Lowry on the wing, throws one up on the run and scores. So Madison Lowry makes it 50-17. So Balagoon off the right side. Now Martinez will work back near side along that baseline. So Treasure Hunt on the outside tries to work back up top to Cardoso. Massengill down the lane. Good pass underneath to Cardoso, who finishes. Out front it comes to Davis. Swings it along the baseline. That 3-ball won't go from Lowry. And on the break, Elizabeth Balagoon with the bucket. Now 54-17. 3-ball out front, no good, but we got a whistle and a foul. Treasure Hunt picks up her first and team second. Some rattles around it in. So happy to have 2 more coming. (54-20). Massengill into the front court. And that goes off the glass and in from Camila Cardoso.
Cardoso is the 6'7" sophomore.
Back the other way. Massengill, no, but she will head to the free throw line.
I just want to double check that. I have to do that, seems like every time. Make sure that young lady is a sophomore because it's just.
Sierra Johnson picks up her first foul, team first this half.
Yeah, she's a sophomore. I can really tell how much she's developed over the over last season when she was a freshman.
So Massengill with a pair. It's 58-20. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the third. Lowry fadeaway on the baseline is blocked. Now Massengill back the other way. Rodriguez off on that far side. Down the lane, missed the runner. Rebound put back up, no. And this tap back out, and Hamilton Heights gets it back. Deep 3 on the wing, that's good. Long 3-point field goal from Jasmine Massengill. Makes it 61-20. Jumper on the baseline, no good by Lowry. Massengill out on the run. Head to Rodriguez, that wouldn't go. Rebound tipped around, and now Marta tracks it down in the corner. Tried to save it back in the middle. Now Massengill in the corner for Rodriguez. 3-ball out front. Massengill, that won't go. And Marta will track it down. Low it goes. Massengill up off the glass and scores. And a timeout to TPLS. 63-20 is the lead for Hamilton Heights. 3:37 to go in the third. We'll take a break. Back with more NACA basketball in just a moment.
All right, let's see if that timeout changed the dynamic any as we. All right, thank you for hanging with us. We had some things to get sorted out at the officials' table.
And I'm still not completely sure that's sorted out. I think it is, but there might be a different answer to that than what we thought. I think they're talking about 35-plus points in a running clock, but I don't know. Not so sure. Layup underneath by Camila Cardoso. Makes it now 65-20. Out front, jumper there is off the mark.
So, again, as you mentioned, TPLS has 3 Division I players. They're going to be playing at Division I schools next year.
Well, we got a whistle and a foul, so there is no running clock, apparently. I think that was what discussion was about, but I think I heard somebody say, so let's see, Sabrina Camp with her first foul, team second. I think I heard somebody say that the coach for TPLS wanted to play out the regulation time, so they must give them the option. And free throw off the mark by Cardoso. 65-20, down to 2:45 to go. Out front, that's knocked out of bounds.
You can see up close in that camera angle as we're essentially right on top of the action on this side, on the near side of the court. Just the extent of that Hamilton Heights defense. The Lady Hawks are just.
One, you have to understand, out front of this defense, Elizabeth Balagoon is 6'2", Treasure Hunt is 6'2", and on the other side, Jasmine Massengill is 6'1". That is a big front line on your defense. I mean, that's huge. A lot of high schools in the country like to have that line in the post. And that's
certainly, yeah, absolutely. Enter Cardozo with
at 6'7", down low, and that becomes a little bit of a problem. And Treasure Hunt got, I think, collided with somebody.
She's waving it off.
I thought, unless that's an Illinois thing, if they blew the whistle for you and an injury, you had to come out of the game. At any case, not like it really matters a whole lot at this point. Lowry out top.
We haven't called her number a lot or said her name, but there it is.
She finally hits one. Yep. I mean, she's been bombing away from outside, but hasn't hit too many of those. 65-23. 3-ball out front. That rattles off. No. Cardoso back up. No. And TPLS comes away with it. Davis. Head down to Robinson. Trying to work up near side to Lowry. Davis trying to swing a pass on the baseline. It goes off the hands of Grace Packton out of bounds.
We haven't called Treasure's name a lot today, but she is the number 1 player at her position for 2010 draft, or is she the number 1 overall in 2010?
I think number 1 in her position for 2020.
Okay.
Well, and to go along with that, Camila Cardoso is also number 1 in her position for 2020. That's not bad, considering you got them for 2 more years.
As good as they are this year, and they're looking to lose Paola Martinez Of course, Jasmine Massengale going to UT, and Elizabeth, that's Tennessee, by the way. Elizabeth Balagoon, of course, going to Georgia Tech. That's going to be 3 big seniors that they will lose. Also, Marta Rodriguez. But they have 4 sophomores that will be juniors next year that are just there. And there's Treasure's name called in that fast break.
I think that's the first field goal she's made the entire game. Elizabeth Balagoon picks up her second foul, team third. Down to 30 seconds to go. Elizabeth Balagoon on the break. She'll lay it in.
Massengale and Balagoon, quite frankly, hasn't left a lot of oxygen left for other players' names to be called too much.
Down to 10 seconds to go in the quarter. 3 ball on the wing. That won't go. Lowry steps in, missed the layup. Davis for 3 at the buzzer, and that's good. So Jennifer Davis rattles one in. And at the end of 3, it's 69-26. The lead for Hamilton Heights. Take a break. Come back with more NACA basketball in just a moment. So back to it here. 69-26 is the lead for Hamilton Heights. Rodriguez out front. Some substitutions here for Hamilton Heights. Olivia Smith in the game, along with Maria Manzano. Ruth Balagoon. There's Treasure Hunt along the baseline. And Marta Rodriguez stays in as well. And that pass sails out of bounds. And 30-second timeout to TPLS. We'll take a brief one as well. Back here in just a moment. You're watching the NACA. So Hamilton Heights to play it up here out of the timeout. And there's a turnover. Davis comes away with it. Jennifer into the front court. Still on the baseline. Now 15-footer is off the mark, and the rebound to Treasure Hunt. Treasure down the lane, goes up, no. And finally taken away by TPLS. Three ball out front, that's off the mark. And board finally taken away underneath by Maria Manzano. So the Hawks slow it up a little bit here. Hunt down the lane. No, and we got a whistle and a foul. So Grace Pack will pick up her second foul and team third. Free throw good here by Treasure, so one more coming. So Abby Eads, Madison Lowry back in. That free throw off the mark and tipped out of bounds. (72-26). Down to 5:30 to go in the game. Three ball in the corner, that's off the mark. Now outlet. Treasure Hunt on the break, and we'll lay it in with the left hand. Lowry, touch pass underneath. And the layup by Lexi Hempy. 74-28. We approach 5 minutes to go. Ruth Balagoon down the lane, throws up a runner. That wouldn't go. Rebound put back up, no. And TPLS comes away with it. Lowry from the baseline, that's no good. And rebound tipped, shows out of bounds. And it will be Lions basketball. Three ball in the corner, that's off the mark. Now back on the break. And it looked like Hamilton Heights has a injured player. I think it's Olivia Smith trying to get back on the floor. I think her knee brace had a hitch or something in it there. I'll tip back. Rodriguez off the glass, no. And it comes, that's thrown out of bounds.
Jessica Jatobo checking in now for the Lady Hawks.
So Jessica Jatobo into the lineup, replacing Olivia Smith. We'll take a look at her on the far side. Looks like she's just trying to stretch out a little bit.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter, like our Facebook page, and absolutely subscribe to our YouTube channel. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, as always.
Jumper on the wing is good.
This broadcast is possible from our sponsors, Bryan College, Pensacola Christian College, Bob Jones University, Trinity Baptist College, 323 Sports, with the #1 name in sports apparel for teams, and Captain U. And also, of course, Fort Bluff Camp, the home and host of NACA Sports.
Well, 78-30. Down to 3:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. Treasure Hunt in the lane, fires and scores.
And that's a little glimpse of why she's the #1 player at her position for the class of 2020.
Three ball in the wing by Lowry. That carries out of bounds. So some substitutions in here. Treasure Hunt will head out as Paola Martinez. So Hamilton Heights plays it in, up 80-30 with 2:40 to go. Jumper out there along the baseline wouldn't go by Martinez. Now the Hawks reset here. Baseline 3-ball is good by Marta Rodriguez. Her second 3 of the game, and it's 83-30. Camp left it back out front. On the baseline, that runner's no good by Johnson. Rodriguez down the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball on the wing, that won't go. Carry out of bounds, and it will be TPLS basketball. Camp on the far side, swings it off on the baseline and out of bounds. Over on the sideline is Sierra Johnson. Rodriguez down the lane, throws that up, no. Not on the post. Rodriguez in the middle, and spin move inside won't go for Maria Manzano. And that pass goes out of bounds. It will be Hamilton Heights basketball.
Taking a peek ahead at our next game, we have the Griffin Christian High School Crusaders from Griffin, Georgia, who will be playing. Help me out.
I'm not sure.
Put you on the spot.
And Maria Manzano with the bucket. 85-30. I'm not sure I know. It's one of those bracket games that had a play-in from yesterday, and I'm not 100% sure. Maria Manzano picks up her first foul, team fourth. Down to the final 30 seconds of this one. Runner along the baseline, rattles around and in for Sierra Johnson. So get down to the last 5 seconds here. That pass picked off, and that is going to do it for this one. 85-32 is the final as Hamilton Heights gets the win over TPLS. So we'll go through your final scoring totals here. First of all, for TPLS, Sierra Johnson finishes with 4 points. Jennifer Davis had 6 on 2 3-point field goals. 11 points from Madison Lowry, including 1 3. Grace Pack, 1 point on 1 of 1 from the free throw line. 10 points for Alexi Hempy. She was 4 of 5 from the free throw line. For Hamilton Heights, Esmery Martinez with 9 points, including 1 of 3 from the free throw line. 14 for Camila Cardoso. She was 0 for 2 from the line. 8 points for Marta Rodriguez, including 2 3-point field goals. 14 points for Treasure Hunt. She was 2 of 4 from the free throw line. 21 points for Elizabeth Balagoon. 3 3-point field goals. She was 0 for 2 from the free throw line. 17 points for Jasmine Massengill. She had 3 3-point field goals and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. So Hamilton Heights gets an easy win over TPLS. The Lions just could not get anything going from outside, really struggled shooting the basketball. And I don't expect them to really go back to doing that again in this tournament. Just cannot seem to buy a bucket anywhere along the line. And Hamilton Heights gets what turns out to be an easy win here today. Up next, we'll go to the Boys Division III semifinals, I do believe. One of those teams, Griffin Christian. Not exactly sure of the other one quite yet, but we'll get there here in just a little bit. So we'll take ourselves a break. About 25 minutes or so away from our next game. And you've been watching the NACA National Championship Tournament.